This is another episode of Spade Talk, where out-of-the-box thinkers and executors come together for a value-driven conversation. Today, I'm joined with a serial entrepreneur, a trader, an educator, a pilot, a father. Yeah, and UK's in the building. How are you, bruv? I'm with the bearded pilot.
Good, bruv. How you doing, man?
Great, man. So we can take this conversation in so many different ways, but how I want to start is, why the move to Canada?
It's an interesting question, man. Bro, to be honest, there's a lot of reasons. Main reason is I just wanted to change. Growing up in South London, it wasn't the best place to grow up in. Looking back at it now, obviously, I'm glad I grew up in South London. I learned a lot. But yeah, overall, in a nutshell, there's just too much crime, too much negativity. It was getting to a point where I just really started to feel claustrophobic, and I didn't feel like I could unlock my full potential. So, I've been blessed enough to travel the world and see different places and cities, and I've been to America, I've been to all the major cities there. I've been to Canada before as well, so I don't know what it is. Out of all the places, Toronto really just kind of stuck in my heart, and I don't know, I just found it peaceful here, and I just saw myself being here. So I think that's the main thing, man.
That's great. We actually connected last year when we met downtown in Toronto. So you've been a trader for many years now, right? Yeah. And you've helped a lot of other people make money in that field as well. So what's your journey in trading, right? And what can you tell me about that?
Yeah, for sure. So I've been trading for about 8 years now, if I'm not wrong. Six to 8 years, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, I started off in 2018. So was that, 6 years, 7 years almost. And my journey was very simple. I was a broke college student, and I was doing pizza deliveries, Amazon Flex. I was delivering Amazon parcels. And during college, obviously, I was trying to make money. And I wanted to become a pilot. And pizza deliveries and Amazon Flex is just not going to pay me enough to fund my pilot training, right? So I looked into trading, and, well, I actually remember this. I went online and I searched up ways to make money online, right? And trading was popping off at the time. It was pretty popular. Plus 500 broker and trading 212. Those were the big ones at the time. So, yeah, I just started to do some research, and I pretty much self-taught myself for a year with demo accounts, and then after that I started on a real account, and then I started a business teaching people how to trade. And yeah, from 2018 to about the end of 2020 was pretty much my first solid 2-3 years in the game. I got scammed a couple times by companies and brokers too. You learn that lesson the hard way. But yeah, that's pretty much my starting point, and ever since then I've just been just grinding at it nonstop, just trying to better myself, educate myself more and more. And yeah, honestly, the money in it is really good. Obviously you can lose money too. I lost a lot of money doing it, but I've made a lot of money too. And it's just about, the main thing about trading is you have to be very disciplined, and you can't trade emotionally. You have to.
Easier said than done, though.
Yeah, there's been so many times, I've got emotional and stuff, but yeah, you have to be super disciplined, and yeah, for me now, my goal is just to help people make money. And some people might be in similar situations that I was in 6 years ago. So my goal is just to help people make money, and whatever they want to do with their money, they can do. My goal was just to travel the world, fund my pilot training, and just here I am. So
I see you focusing on like the precious metals, talking about gold a lot, right? Is that what you specialize in?
Yeah, so Forex is cool, but I prefer gold. For anybody who knows, gold is one of the best instruments to trade on the markets. It can get you a lot of money very quickly, but you can lose a lot of money very quickly too. So it kind of just depends on what kind of trader you are, what your goal is. But yeah, gold is, for me, gold is gold. I've made a lot of money on it, and I feel like it's very predictable to a certain degree. Like if you've been on the charts for a good amount of years, you can kind of see different trends and patterns and that kind of stuff. So it's, yeah, for me, it's a no-brainer. And at the end of the day, gold is the natural safe haven of the world. So it's going to go up regardless, right? You know, the U.S. economy, I don't want to go too much into politics. Well, we can. I don't mind, you know. It is what it is. But the political aspect of it is, I mean, obviously, the U.S. dollar is, the gold is backed by the U.S. dollar, and whatever happens over there influences gold, you know. So you just got to look to see what's happening with USD, and that will give you most of your answers.
So pivoting here, I want to talk about you being a pilot. It's probably one of the more unique things because there aren't that many pilots out there. So what made you want to become a pilot, and how long you been flying?
Man, so I've been blessed to travel the world quite a lot. So with growing up, we would always go and visit Pakistan, where my family are back from. And yeah, my family, we would always at least go once a year to go visit family back home. And I remember traveling a lot on planes when I was younger. And I always used to get the window seat. So I don't know, just something about watching the wing and just how the mechanicals move of the plane. And just, I don't know, it just interested me a lot. And I don't know what it is, but I fell in love with it, I guess. And it's just been a passion of mine since I was about 11 years old. So yeah, I think that was it, man.
So you started that training in the UK?
Yeah, I started training in the UK when I was 18, and I got my private pilot license when I was 20 years old. Mm-hmm. So about 2 years of training. I was in college as well at the same time doing travel and tourism. Biggest waste of time. I should have just started training, to be honest. But yeah, and my first ever flight actually was when I think it was in 2016. It was just like a taster lesson or like an introduction kind of thing. It was just a 1 hour thing. But after that, I was like, yeah, I have to do it. So, yeah, 2 years later, 2018, I started my training, and yeah.
Because I see you do tours around the city of Toronto. I've seen you in LA. I've seen you in Montreal, and probably a bunch of other places too. So you're licensed to fly how many people? So
I have a private pilot license, and that allows me to fly single engine private aircraft. So it depends. I mean, technically on a private pilot license, if I'm not wrong, you could fly a Boeing 747 if you have all the correct ratings and stuff, right? But it's once you want to start getting paid, that's when you have to get a commercial license, if I'm not mistaken. So, but for now, I'm assuming, yeah, the biggest plane I could probably fly is like a small private jet, 10-seater, 8-seater at max. There are some private jets that allow you to fly single pilot. So yeah.
Are you trying to fly commercial?
Yeah, that is the goal for sure.
Like those bigger planes?
Yeah, for sure. I definitely want to move on to the bigger planes. Like right now, my main focus is on the trading. Flying is just, right now, I just do it for fun. But yeah.
That's a nice hobby.
Yeah. Just, just quick 1 hour over the CN Tower. It's beautiful, man. Like getting the views from up there is just a different perspective. It's nice, like every city that I travel to, I try and just do a 1 hour tour over the city just to kind of see how it is from above. So
sick. I want to get your backdrop, your origin story, how it was like growing up in London. Because here in Toronto, we only know about the UK, what we see on, like TV or the media. So from someone that actually grew up there, right, how was it and what was your childhood like?
Yeah, to be honest, but the first things first, I'm going to get clear. I'm not going to come on this podcast and just be like, oh, yeah, like give one of those crazy, like I do have a crazy story for sure, but I'm not going to go to the extreme. Like, because at the end of the day, we grew up in, I guess, in the Western world, right? In the UK, like it's
for sure
a pretty good country, right? Like I've been blessed to at least not be born in a war-torn country and that kind of stuff. But every place has its struggles. But yeah, growing up, I had a normal childhood, to be honest. Went to school, whatever. Like, I was just your ordinary kid. And, I just thought the world was this beautiful place and, everybody's nice and, whatever. And as I progressed through primary school or elementary school, as you guys call it here, towards the end of it, I kind of started to learn that people weren't too friendly sometimes, and whatever the case is, and I had some minor issues in primary school, and then I guess from about growing up till about the age of 10, it was okay, and then high school is when everything kind of flipped around. You're just you start off in year 7 over there, which is grade 7, I believe, over here, and high school was definitely an interesting experience. There's a lot going on, a lot of different people, older students and kids, and high school was definitely it was definitely a journey for sure, man. It was so I went to a majority white school, and it was definitely racist. There was definitely the racist aspect to it, and me being pretty much one of the only brown boys over there. It wasn't easy. I wouldn't say I got bullied, but maybe I got picked on, whatever, just because of my race and stuff, and obviously being exposed to all this, it's just like, whoa, what the hell, like, because you grow up thinking the world is so nice and everybody's cool, and then you just come into this mix and it's wild, so I had to quickly learn that I just had to start fending for myself, and I definitely found those few years tough, but it definitely built me up and built up my confidence, and just progressing on to college, I definitely started hanging around with the wrong people, and I wouldn't say the wrong people, but you start hanging around with certain people, and you want to I guess assert your dominance, and you just like, you don't want to be played around with, that's it. So I just that was it, man.
Yeah, I find that there's a lot of similarities, at least with our generation of people growing up from, the streets of Toronto to the streets of the UK. It's like this in almost every city, right? Where you're growing up as a teen, you're angry, you want respect, so you pretty much have to go through it for a bit. It builds tough skin, it builds character, right? And it's a part of life for a lot of people's stories. So so from there though, you said you were working, right? Pizza deliveries, Amazon. What strike the ambition to go after something more?
Yeah, so obviously going through high school, just kind of being that angry teenager, rebel, trying to prove a point to people, and going through that transition period. I got excluded from my high school a bunch of times, and I got permanently excluded at one point. So I feel like my behavior kind of just deteriorated, and going on to college, it kind of just worsened. And over here you got, I don't know. Well, it's still bad in Toronto with guns. America's worse, obviously, for sure. But in the UK, there's not many guns, so people carry knives over there and stuff. So, I did used to carry weapons here and there. I won't specify what, but I feel like going into college, my behavior worsened, and I was just hanging around, just different types of people, and I just kind of honestly lost track of my goals, and I just kind of forgot about it, really and truly, right? Because I'm in this like mental battle and whatever. So first year of college, to be honest, I was just messing around. I still did my work. I took I remember, I think it was a 2-year aviation course, and eventually I only managed to finish 1 year, but because I was messing around so much, they kicked me out of the college. Second year I went and I moved to a different college and did business over there. That was just a waste of time as well. And then I think after those 2 years of college, it kind of just struck me like, okay, I have to stop messing around at this point. Like, I'm getting older. I'm like 17, 18 now at this point. Like, I'm driving. And, once you leave high school and you kind of go to college, you start drifting away from people as well. So I guess at that point, when I started drifting away from people and started to become, I guess, more free and just had a bit more time to myself, I really started to think about my goals and my future and what I want to do. And obviously, like, I've known for the longest time I've wanted to become a pilot. So, yeah, I guess, so after business, after my first 2 years of college that I kind of just messed around with, I went to another college and stuck to a 2-year travel and tourism course, and that's when I started my pilot training, and that's when I started working and just kind of hustling, just trying to make money and just get out of that teen mindset, I guess. And that's where it all started, really and truly, I guess. That's where that switch was. And I was just hungry, to be honest. Like, I just wanted to prove a point to people. That was it.
So what drives you now?
I still have a point to prove to people. That's a fact. But it's not even that. Like, there's a saying, you should flex without even flexing. It's more for myself. I just want to live my best life. I just want to achieve that dream that 11-year-old me saw back in the day, So, getting to where I am now and seeing the progress, it just motivates me more to achieve higher and higher, because I've seen how much my life has improved. So, as much as it is proving a point to other people, it's mainly about myself, though,
So what are some of the goals that you got right now?
Man, I can't lie. I gotta keep those on the low for now, man. Okay. I gotta keep those on the low. Like, I'll say this much. The goal is to and I'm gonna keep it quiet.
I know there's like there's some goals that you're gonna keep close to heart.
For sure.
Right? Those are personal. Those are the long-term vision, the things people really can't see.
For sure.
Right? 100%. And you know within yourself, right, that you're gonna accomplish them no matter what, for hundo. So I get that. Well, what's something, say you're working on right now, a short-term goal even?
Short-term goal for sure. I would say is just surrounding myself with the right people. I've right now, I honestly can't complain. I am around a lot of good brothers, and especially when I moved to Toronto, I networked with a lot of people, and I'm around a lot of good guys. But I just want to continue to elevate that and just grow my trading business. To be honest, grow my trading business, just continue flying. Exploring different places, and main thing is just growing the trading business, and that's it.
Okay, so how are you helping people get started in trading?
It's easy, man. You just set up your trading account, put money in, and I help you with the rest. That's it. It's literally that simple. You don't pay me anything. All my services are free, and that's pretty much it, man, in a nutshell.
Interesting. Okay, so for people that want to get started in that, right, all they need to do is pretty much hit you up, and they can get going?
Yeah, just hit me up, and the thing is, I prefer calling my clients, because I understand that people are very skeptical when it comes to trading. People think it's a scam. People have been scammed. People are not too sure. So for me, I like to call my clients, and I like to build that trust and have a phone call with them, because here's the thing. There's a lot of guys on the internet nowadays that a lot of it is just marketing. They're trying to sell you some bullshit course. They're trying to sell you some nonsense. And at the end of the day, that's how they're making money. They're not actually making money through trading. So, I understand where people's mind is at when it comes to this. Like, people are just skeptical. They're scared. They don't want to get scammed. They don't want to get ripped off, So that's why I make my services free.
So if somebody's skeptical, to ask, all right, so what's your incentive, for you helping me, since it's free?
So first of all, main thing is it's free. So how could I scam you? Number one. Yeah. Number two, you really have to understand and differentiate the difference between my Instagram profile, for example, and other people's. What is the most common trait with people who are just scamming or ripping people off or selling people bullshit? It's all supercars on their Instagram. Go to Dubai, rent a Lambo for a week, and buy my course. I'm a trader, this, that, blah, blah, blah. It's all bullshit. You know what I mean? And there's so many of those guys. And if you look at my Instagram, I don't do that. I could do that if I wanted to. I know how the marketing game works on Instagram. If I wanted to just do numbers and sell people dreams, I could do that. I have a lot of rich friends. You know what I mean? I could borrow one of their cars. It's easy. It's not a problem. But people should really look at my Instagram and look at my journey and see where I've gone, where I've come from to where I am now. And I just post my day-to-day life. I drive a nice BMW. I fly around. I meet different people. I flew Sheikh Al Afasi as well. I think it was last year. Yeah, last year. You know, so I'm around high profile people, celebs as well. Like, you know, I just, you know, my reputation is very dear to me, and I wouldn't do anything to screw it over, you know. So people should kind of see that. I don't know, you know, people. I guess that would be my answer to that question.
I feel like a lot of the people that market with the materialistic things, they might catch momentum short term, but they end up losing long term.
100%.
There was this this study called like the Spain test, where SPAIN, SPANE, and essentially people pretty much went through this study. They put wires in people's brains to see what type of emotion is going to vibrate the highest. And surprisingly, it wasn't love, it wasn't anger. The thing that vibrated the highest was authenticity. So authenticity is always going to win in the end, you know what I mean? People can flex like they're cooler than they are, but at the end of the day, the market's going to expose them long term. Right?
100%.
And so that, you know, I would say for anyone out there that is going to, you know, look into investing with someone or working with someone or whatever, because I believe 100% you should, you know, go after mentors, right? And learn from the best and surround yourself with the highest, you know, level individuals and network. And you've actually been an amazing networker, because we met through some mutual friends, right, that are doing some big things. So for the people that want to network, and you moved here from a whole nother country and set yourself up here with almost no connections to start. So how did you start networking? And for the people that want to start networking, what would you tell them?
Yeah, no, definitely. It's, yeah, I mean, coming here, I've been here for about 3 years now. I mean, for me, I guess, I don't know, I was very confident growing up. And I guess, obviously, going through high school and going through that phase, you know, of building up my confidence and stuff, that was definitely a help. Yeah, I don't know, you just have to take chances, man. You just have to just go ahead and speak to people. That's it. Like, it's simple. Like, honestly, people make it seem like it's a difficult thing to network. It really isn't. You just got to talk to people. You got to have confidence, but at the same time, you have to build yourself up to a point where you can approach people and people take you serious too. So you have to put in the work, and you have to make sure that you're at a level where people are going to listen to you, right? Like, if you walk into a room full of people and you want to network with them and talk to them, you got to have some interesting stories. Like, you got to, like, you know what I mean? Like, if I was just some random kid on the street, you know, with nothing going on, nobody's going to give a shit.
You got to have some value.
Yeah, you got to have value for sure. Like, you know what I mean? So I hustled, got my pilot license, started my trading business. I hustled for sure, you know? But
my question would be, a lot of people could talk to a lot of people, right? People are social, but the conversations don't really go anywhere. Yeah. I'm talking about getting in like kind of like the right rooms around the right people.
When I came to Toronto, obviously, you know, me being a pilot and a trader, my main focus was obviously getting clients too. But it was more of looking. I guess you gotta look for people who are doing better than you, because at the end of the day, you should see yourself there. Like, I have big goals. People have big goals, right? So there's somebody who's already done it. Do you know what I mean? So it's those people that you have to go and talk to and get advice from them and talk to them and see what their experience is, you know? So for me, when I came here, it was during COVID, I think, the pandemic and scamdemic. And so when I first moved here, the first few months was very just chill, just getting myself set up and established.
What year? Like, was it 2020?
So I moved here in December 2020, and I had to quarantine for 2 weeks. So let's just say January 2021, right? I moved here, and for the first few months, I was kind of just going around, you know, just chilling really and truly, just getting myself set up. And I would see like supercars downtown, and I would just walk up to the owner and just talk to them, you know, see what they got going on, what business they're in, you know, whatever, tell them what I'm doing, connect Instagrams, and that's it. Like literally that's it. And, you know, you just got to do it. And that's how you meet people and build connections. And I literally just did that for the first 6-7 months here. And yeah, bro, it grew very quickly. Like in 6 months, the first 6 months that I moved here, that was my biggest like push, you know, with networking. And, you know, I'm glad I did it.
Surprisingly, because I think things didn't start opening up properly till 2022 here in like Canada, Toronto.
Yeah.
So you had like a whole year with all these restrictions and conditions, and you still, you know, made it happen, man. Right?
Hey, listen, COVID or not, pandemic or not, bro, I'm out here, man. Like, here's the thing, like, bro, when people, like I feel like you can't. Some people just don't have it. No offense. You know what I mean? Like some people, they're just gonna be at home. They're gonna be too scared to risk. They're gonna be scared to risk, you know, things in life and do things and step out of their comfort zone. I'm not that guy. I'm gonna push and see what I can do. You know, like I believe in one simple thing. If you try and you keep trying, you will eventually push through. You know, you will knock through the door or whatever you want to call it, right? Like you have to push and you have to keep doing.
And you got to invest in yourself. I find that like a lot of people, they take like the first few steps maybe with someone, but when it's time to pull the trigger and make a move on their life, right? They waste their time, they waste other people's times. And that move that you're scared to make, that commitment that you're scared to make is actually the thing that's holding you back the most.
100%.
Yeah.
100%. Like I risked moving to a whole different country. You know what I mean? And it paid off big time. Like obviously, to be honest, I wasn't even scared. I was excited. I'll be honest with you. Like I want to take risks in life because it's gotten to a point where I've already taken so many risks in the past. It doesn't even faze me anymore. I've taken so many, bro. I've almost been to jail. Let's put it that way. What's the worst that could happen at this point? Like I don't, you know, I want to take risks at this point, you know, because I've seen the outcome. Yeah, obviously some risks they end up bad,
but those are blessings too,
because
right?
you learn.
Yeah, because you have to.
100%.
Right? There's no like story that's untainted.
Yeah.
Right? No interesting one at least. Right? Like
yeah.
Most times, like people gotta go through it. I'm 28 now. How old are you?
I'm 26, turning 27.
Okay, sick.
Soon.
Right? So it's like I find that like when you're early on in your teens, early 20s too, you're still building up like the character, the thick skin, everything that you got going on. So taking those risks, even if it doesn't pan out, you're still closer to where you want to be than if you didn't take that risk
100%.
whatsoever, right? And this is like a real PSA because more times, I know you work with a lot of people. I work with a lot of people too at many different, you know, stages in my life. And I find that like, people want to change, they'll pick your brain, they'll do this and that, but when it's time to really execute, that's when, you know, they kind of like crawl up in a shell, right? And all of the things you've been feeding into them goes through one ear out the other.
Exactly.
Right? So I just want to kind of like put that message out there that for real, make that move.
Yeah.
The move you're afraid to make might be the one to change your life.
100%, man. You got to stop the talk, put in the action. Simple. Like, you know what I mean? Like with anything that you do in life, whether it's trading, business, like whatever you got going on, just put in the work. There's no other secret to it. Like you have to put in the work. So
100%. All right, bro. So you mentioned that you had gotten into like scuffles and you almost went to jail back home. So you want to expand on that a little bit?
Yeah. So, I mean, growing up, obviously, as a teenager, you know, all guys are just trying to fight each other. You know, there's always beef between certain guys and whatever the case is, right? So, I had to obviously fend for myself. And, yeah, you know, there was a few times where, you know, scraps happened or whatever the case is. It is what it is, you know.
So what's the story? What happened?
I mean, the high school stuff wasn't too crazy, but then obviously, yeah, going on to college, you know, things started to get serious. Like you're growing up, like now your ego is really like, You know what I mean? Moving past college, I was still in that mindset, but there wasn't anything too crazy going on. But
So what made you almost go to jail?
yeah, so basically all of that led up to this point, I guess. So it was just hanging around with the wrong people. And yeah, basically one day I was with someone and we were basically, it's a bit of an interesting story.
Just go into it, man.
Right. Well, okay. So, yeah, we pretty much were driving to somewhere to drop some stuff off. I wasn't aware of what was in the car, what was in the bag, whatever the case is, and police pulled us over. Now it's my car, and my friend at the time is driving it, and so I think I think he pulled us over because he was maybe doing like 510 over the speed limit, like something stupid, right? And so they pulled us over. We got out of the car, and they asked him if he had a driving license or insurance, and he had nothing, right? And I didn't know at the time. So the officers were like, okay, they're gonna impound the car and take the car. Now, in my head, I'm thinking, like, these guys are doing a bit too much. Like, I can legally drive off the car right now. Like, impounding the car is a bit too much, you know? Like, I can show my credentials. Like, I have my license. And then I went in my car to look for insurance papers just to see if I had any in the car to show them. Like I'm fully insured, I can drive off. Because the way the insurance thing works in the UK is a little bit different to here. Like, if you drive a car in the UK, you have to be insured on the car. Like, you can't just drive anybody's car like out here, right? So as I've gone to look for insurance papers, the guy I was with, he just kind of just dipped off because he just came out of jail not too long ago and he's not trying to get caught for anything, right? So he kind of just ghosted, and the officers asked me, they were like, where's your friend gone? And I was like, I have no clue. Like, I was just standing here with you guys, you know what I mean? I have no clue. Like, you should go look for him. And they asked me again, they were like, oh, where did he go? Because we need the keys for the car. So I had the keys in my pocket the whole time, right? So I just told them, I was like, I don't know, he has the keys, go look for him. So they went looking for him. And there's one officer standing, waiting for the recovery truck to tow my car away. So I've gone into the car to look for insurance papers to try and at least like just talk to this officer on a level, you know, like, because now the group is gone. So let me just see if I can just talk to this officer, try to convince him, you know. And I couldn't really like find any insurance papers in the car. And I opened the back door just to kind of see if anything was laying around. And I opened the back door and I just see a bag of things that shouldn't be there, you know. And I closed the door straight away. I was like, shit, now I know why this guy dipped. And you know, so obviously adrenaline started to kick in, and I kept circling the car a couple times, just pretending to look for papers. And yeah, like third, fourth time round, I just kind of looked at the officer and just made sure he wasn't looking, hopped in the car, started the car straight into sport mode, and boom, off I went, because I had the keys, right? Officer tries to, jump on the bonnet of the car, and he slid off a little bit. But yeah, BMW, man, nice car, fast. So I'm literally just going full speed down the road, and the van that went around the block to look for the guy I was with, they seen me skip the red light on the wrong side of the road, so they started chasing me. Now, I'm in a BMW, and I'm, 21 at the time? So I just got a brand new BMW like 6 months ago because my trading business was popping off and stuff, so I'm just ripping through the streets of London. It was like a weekday, 4 p.m., schools are finished, kids are out, it's like tight central London roads, and the adrenaline is just crazy. I'm like weaving in and out through traffic, and I don't even know the area that I'm in, so I'm just going anywhere I can see. Yeah, bro, just squeezed in between a couple cars, like some really tight gaps, bro. Like, I don't know how I didn't crash, to be honest. Like, it was wild. Like, I squeezed in between gaps as the road was bending too in certain places, so it was a little wild. Eventually got to a point where I was on the pavement at 40 miles per hour, which is about 80 kilometers here, and I smashed my left wing mirror off on a lamppost. I came off onto the main road, and there was traffic on both sides, and I just see a road ahead of me, straight ahead. So I just went into that road, and it kind of turned toward the right. As soon as I go around the corner, it's a dead-end cul-de-sac road, so I just hopped out the car, took the bag with me, threw it over, a fence in someone's garden or backyard. And I just kept running up the alleyway. Like, the adrenaline was just so, like, it was wild. And then once I got to the top of the alleyway, I guess, I just I calmed down a little bit. And then that's when I started thinking, like, oh, shit, like, I have my pilot bag in the car, too. Because I literally just got my license, like, 6 months ago as well. So, and I can hear the sirens getting closer to where I left my car, right? And I left my car running. I just left it as it is. I just hopped out, took the bag with me, and ran. So in my head, I'm thinking now, like, oh shit, these guys are gonna catch me. Like, I have my bag in my car, my ID. So I just did the sensible thing, and I just kind of went back and just said I had a panic attack, which I kind of did, just a little bit. But I went back, surrendered myself, and I just said I had a panic attack, and they arrested me, took me to the police station. And they arrested me for dangerous driving, failing to stop, and 2 other charges. And when I was in the police station, this is like probably my 3rd time getting arrested. Like, I've been arrested for some other stuff in the past, like just stupid shit. Like, I feel like, the first time I got arrested was they were just being racist. And I spent 24 hours in a cell. That was wild. They stopped me for terrorism initially when I was 16, and then arrested me on attempted robbery because I had my mum's phone with me. But anyways, that was a whole different story. But this is like probably my 3rd time in a cell. So I kind of knew how it was going to go down. So the officer was to me, he goes, do you want to read a book? And I'm like, sure. I'm probably going to be in here for at least 10 hours, 12 hours, whatever the case is, right? So why not? And I kid you not, he pointed to the bookshelf, and there was a Quran on the bookshelf, like, and it was the only book there. Bro, I just took that as a sign from God. I was like, I just felt something go through me, and I was like, this is, God is doing something, and I just took the Quran with me. I read it. I got released like 3-4 hours later, and 1 month later, unplanned, I ended up in Saudi, in Mecca for Umrah. And when I was there, I made 3 very specific prayers. Number 1 was not to go to jail. Number 2 was to make a very specific amount of money in my business. And number 3 was to move to Canada. And I got back from Saudi, and I had my first court date in magistrate's court, which is like the lower courts. And they banned me from driving, but they were like, the circumstances were just wild, So we're going to send you to the Crown Court, which is the higher court in London, where they deal with bigger cases like murder and crazy stuff, right? So so the first court date was in end of February 2019. Then the second one was March 2019. So they just called me, and they were like, yeah, like, just bring a bag of underwear and socks. You might be going to jail. So I'm like, all right, cool. Let's get ready for it, And
what was it like?
Oh, fuck, man. You know what? I'm not like, it was definitely I can't even explain the emotions, Like, it was more of a thing where I was just like,
It's like you gotta be probably, I'm just assuming here, hopeful, but also ready, like, to go in, but like then nervous and like, but like staying optimistic, but then like preparing for the worst. So I know it's probably a lot, right?
It was definitely a mix of emotions for sure, But whatever happened, I just knew that God was in control, Like, I knew whatever happened, like, I have to go through this, because at the end of the day, this is what's been planned for me. And there was just the way it happened. Like, I was just like, whatever happens, like, I'll be cool with it. It is what it is, I'll deal with the consequences of whatever happens. So, and obviously I'm like, 20, 21 at the time. And, I had a lawyer. Well, I don't know what I think they call him legal aid guys, or what. I don't know, bro. I had some legal aid guy anyways. And so we went to court, and it was me and my mum, and obviously she was just like, fully upset. And then we went into the courtroom. They put me behind this like glass cage thing at the back, and there's a security guy standing right here, and the trial starts, or whatever the case is. And bro, the prosecutor's just trying to do me dirty, bro. Like, bro, I'm not gonna lie, she was. I don't want to swear on here right now, but bro, she was a bitch. Like, the way she was talking to the judge is like, she was just making it out to seem like I'm like the worst criminal ever. She was like, oh, like, his driving was so bad and he lost control of the car a few times. And bro, I'm a sick driver, bro. Like, first of all, don't insult me like that. Like, hey, listen, if you know, you know. I'm a sick driver, you know. But yeah, she was just doing me dirty, man. And
The prosecutors, like, they have an incentive to put you in jail. I don't think the
100%.
legal system is like set up in a proper way to like actually help people go through things.
100%.
Yeah, that's a whole nother topic, you know, if you go deep enough. But for real, like in terms of like prosecution, they're always going to make it out to be worse than what it was because their jobs, right? They have quotas, you know, and they have like a track record themselves and a career that they're trying to build off the back of, you know, a young guy making a mistake or like, you know, doing whatever. So
100%.
yeah.
No, 100%, man. And then, you know, and the thing is, I'll be honest with you, I don't even remember much from the courtroom because, like, the whole time, I'm not gonna lie, like, I was there, but I wasn't there. You know what I mean? Like, I was listening to what the prosecutor was saying, and then after she like did her piece, I kind of just zoned out, bro. I'm not gonna lie, I was just, I don't know how to explain it, but I just zoned out. I was like, bro, like, this is it, you know, like, cause I don't know, it's just a mix of emotions and stuff. So I kind of looked down a little bit towards where my mum was sitting. I wasn't looking at her specifically, but I was kind of just looking, kind of just down a little bit, and I just zoned out. And I'm hearing my legal aid lawyer guy, you know, and he's not really fighting for me the way I want him to fight, you know. And but yeah, eventually, you know, judge is like, all right, you know, I think I've heard enough. And obviously, close family members and friends had to give statements too, like, you know, like about me and, you know, what kind of person I am, whatever. So I think that definitely helped in my favor. But yeah, eventually judge was like, you know, I think I've heard enough. And he goes to me, you know, I don't think going to prison is the right option for you right now, based off everything I've heard and everything I've seen. You know, I feel like, you know, you're just a young guy and whatever the case is. But at the same time, it's very suspicious circumstances, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, like he was still kind of onto me a little bit, you know. I feel like if I didn't do certain things like surrender myself and have a clean record and, you know, have all that in place, then I probably would have gone to jail. But, you know, given the fact that I just pleaded guilty, so when you plead guilty, that reduces like 30% of your sentence, I think. And then the fact that I had a clean record, clean license and everything like that, that all went in my favor. So eventually he goes, so I'm not going to send you to prison, but I'm going to put you on a 2-year driving ban, a 1-year suspended prison sentence, and a £500 fine. And then, yeah, they just unlocked the door, let me go, and that was it, bro. I was like, fucking hell, bro.
Alhamdulillah, man.
Alhamdulillah, bro. Like, yeah, bro. And that was the first prayer answered, you know. So that was the first prayer answered, and yeah, man, that was cool. And then the second prayer about making money in business, that was answered a year later. And the way I asked for that prayer was very specific. Like, I literally was like, you know, I was like, Ya Allah, you know, like, bless me with this amount, not a single penny more, not a single penny less. And literally a year later, that happened, you know. And I feel like going through that initial hardship kind of reset my focus. And yeah, that was a very big point in my life where I was like, all right, I need to just stop doing this shit because it's just going to end up leading to nowhere. You know what I mean? So yeah, going to court and going through that experience, that kind of just, yeah, flipped my life around for sure. And I kind of just started focusing. And then, you know, a year later, that second prayer got answered. And then, yeah, a year and a half later, here I am in Canada. That was the third prayer. So, you know, God is definitely, he's definitely there, you know. You just got to have faith. And in the Quran, it says, you know, with hardship will be ease, you know, so.
Absolutely. A couple more questions before we wrap up. I really want to know, how has fatherhood changed you?
Ah, man. Hey, I'm not going to lie to you. I was not I was not planning to have a kid at 25. But bro, yeah, it is such a blessing, man. I wouldn't change anything. Honestly, it's such a blessing. Not having a kid versus having a kid is just two completely different things. Like, because if you've never had a kid, you don't really know, right? It's the unknown. It's like taking risks in life, like, you know, with business and anything. Like, you, until you actually go through it, you don't know. Until you actually do something, you don't know. So, I mean, obviously, I didn't plan to have a kid, but you know, God had other plans for me, and yeah, alhamdulillah, bro. It's changed me in a positive way, man. It's such a blessing. Like, and to be honest, it just makes your hunger even more. Like, it really just makes you more ambitious and more hungry, and just it puts you in a different mindset, bro. And just the blessings of having a kid, it's just elevated me to a different level too. You know, like, God, I feel like if I didn't have my son, I wouldn't be where I am today. Like, I wouldn't be able to get past a certain level, you know? So, yeah.
All right. Alhamdulillah, blessings, yo.
Yeah.
All right, so you're trading, right? People want to get started with you, right? How do they get in touch?
Just hit me up on Instagram, bearded.pilot. That's it, you know? BEARDED.pilot. That's it.
Yeah.
Just hit me up on WhatsApp. Hit me up on Instagram. My WhatsApp's it's on my Instagram. You can just click the link. WhatsApp is the best method, to be honest.
I see you posting a lot of testimonials and stuff too.
Yeah, for sure.
Right, like a lot of trading accounts, a lot of clients and whatnot, right? Yeah.
Let's do one now. Let's do it. Let me just call a client up now so you guys can see a live testimonial on air. Let's just call this guy. Hopefully he picks up. And I'll show you his account after as well on camera.
Just put it straight to the speaker.
Straight to the speaker. All right, let's do it. Hopefully he picks up. Hello, my brother. How you doing, man?
Good.
Bro, I'm just on a podcast right now. Just really quickly, just give me your experience trading with me. Just quick 30-second piece. Just give your piece, man.
Yeah, basically, I didn't know what to expect, so I gave it a chance, and I threw in about 300 quid into it. Man, the account got flipped crazily in about a week's time, and it's on above 10K, so on around 13 grand right now. So, yeah, I'm very happy, obviously. 300 to 13 grand, that's a crazy bonus, like,
It's a big flip, man.
Crazy trades.
Yeah, definitely, man. And bro, like, just tell the viewers really quickly, like, you know, how you were before it, like, because I remember you mentioned to me, you know, you were skeptical and stuff. So,
yeah, no, definitely. I think I messaged you. I've been following you for loads of years. I messaged you around 2019, and then I think recently you got back to me because I think the messages were lost or something. But anyway, I didn't, you know, you messaged me a couple of times that there's opportunities there, but I never went for it. But then I thought, you know what, I spoke to you on the phone, and then I thought, you know what, let me try it out and stuff. And plus, you gave me that security, you know, that everything is in my control, in my hands. So I actually give you the cut to myself, you know, afterwards rather than in the start. So that was like the kind of trust right there. And now I'm glad I did it, because obviously now I'm happy. I'm going to be taking out, you know, a couple of grand out, and let's see what happens next month.
Definitely, man. I appreciate it, bro. I'm just going to wrap up the podcast here. I'll drop you a call in a bit. I appreciate it, though, man. Thank you, brother.
Yeah, no worries, man. We speak soon. All right.
Speak soon, brother. Take care, man. Bye. There you go. That was it. I don't even have to sell anything. My clients are doing it for me.
Yeah.
I'll show you his account too. Let's show up his account. Let's pull it up. Men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Let's do it. Which camera am I putting this in? This one? All right, let me go here. Let me know if you can see it. Come closer. There. You can see his account there on 13 grand. Let's go to history, and we'll go up all the way up here so you can see. Come back a bit. There. Cool. So £300, and hold on. Yo, one sec.
Do your thing. All right. That's awesome, man. You're helping a lot of people, right, all over the UK, Canada, and I know you're going to be expanding like beyond that. So it's been a pleasure, and we'll definitely do a part 2 soon.
Definitely, my bro. Pleasure, man. Pleasure. I'm on 3 hours of sleep right now.